basically use our marketplace to reach accredited buyers around the world. So there are about 40,000 buyers. If you think of all the OTT players, free-to-air channels, cable, satellite, there's only about 40,000+ in the world. So we have them all on our marketplace.
Yep. Hi guys, welcome back to CBN Live. Yeah, this is an exciting day for us here. Yesterday was amazing full pack of information, and today we actually get a chance to meet our amazing lady here. She's coming away from Singapore. Yeah, wow. Such a good place. Singapore is actually one of the early uptakers in cryptocurrency. So welcome to the program, Karen.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how's Australia? What do you like?
Cold. It's cold here in Melbourne, but no, I'm loving it. Good vibe here. Good vibe.
Fantastic. Yes, good community. Good to have you as guest speaker here today and yesterday, and you're going back today. So it's so good to catch up with you before you go. So share with us about how important is media in this area.
Media is huge. So what Allrites is all about, it's a marketplace for buying and selling broadcast quality content. So if you think movies, TV, documentaries, sports, live streaming, all of that is available, but it's very hard for producers of that content to monetize it. So what Allrites does is we provide a global platform for you to reach accredited buyers. So these are all of your OTT players, your free-to-air channels, your broadcasters. That's about 40,000 players out there in the world today. So it's huge, but it's not unreachable. The thing is, the industry today works through distributorship, so they're very fragmented and siloed around the world. Oh. What we provide is a one-source platform whereby you can reach all these accredited producers or buyers. Sorry, and you as a content producer, whether you're mid to long tail, you can reach them without necessarily working through, say 5 or 10 different distributors around the world. Potentially, that's the opportunity there. The other thing too is a lot of our early adopters have been distributors. So in our world of content, you actually have a lot of distributors that hold good quality content, but for them to incrementally reach new broadcasters, it's quite expensive. Typically, if you think about it, the way we buy and sell content today is going to things like the film festivals in Cannes, Sundance, MIP TV. It's pretty expensive to sip champagne in the south of France, it doesn't come cheap. So this is a way where if you do have to go to these things, they cost you a lot, but are you able to make sure all of that content gets back to your people in real time? Yeah. So what we have is a platform that has straight real-time rights availability of what's available. So if your content is available for me in Singapore to buy, and I like what I see, if I look on the platform, I can reach out to you directly, negotiate with you directly, deal the deal directly, and it's done. You get paid, I get the content. So that's our Allrites marketplace, and then what we're doing is taking it to the next level. We're moving it to the blockchain later this year. And so then what happens then is every piece of content gets what you call a birth certificate. You are the one source of truth and owner of that piece of content. And then you can sell it to me in Singapore for 1 year, and then you to Australia for 6 months, and at the end of that 1 year, the rights come back to you. And then ever you find that I've broken that contract and I've gone on and still showed it in year 2, the blockchain doesn't tell lies. The blockchain is there, it's verifiable straight away, it's public. So our ability to add that level of security, that level of immutability to your rights is in place. Then what we also do with when we're on blockchain is we're actually switching on a B2C model called LIVESTREAM. That will happen in the middle of next year, whereby all this wonderful content, the reality is you're not going to monetize it to 195 countries in the world. At best, maybe 20 countries. So what happens to the remaining 170 countries? We can switch on those rights for individual users in those other 170 countries to watch the content. So if you think subscription of $5 a month, whatever you watch, that portion of revenue goes straight back to the content producer. So in that world, you're optimizing the monetization. Unlike if you think YouTube, I put my content up there for free, and I use an advertising model to try and get some revenue back. In this world of LIVESTREAM, it won't work that way. People will subscribe, and if you're watching my content, I get paid for it. It's a revenue share model that Allrites will automatically, through smart contracts, send it straight back to you. So again, the blockchain provides that immutable, equitable, efficient sharing of great content that you're producing and people are watching. And then the last phase, which is the most exciting, is Right Fund, our ability to fund future projects. So if you have a great movie idea, what we're able to do is you can put your project out there, and if people have watched other content from you and they love it, they can say, I want to support you, I back you with X, I can afford so little or I can afford so much, doesn't matter, but you can have a say to them of what are the benefits you give back to them, and again, everything's locked in the smart contract. So once your movie is created or your TV is created, it gets sold either on the marketplace to a broadcaster or streamed to viewers around the world, and the revenue share goes back to you if it was locked in the smart contract. You decide that. We don't decide that for you. So if you think about, say, Oprah Winfrey, now I love her, and she doesn't need the money, right? So she could say, look, my next project about women, 50% of any future revenues go to my charities around the world. The other could go to the people who've backed this project. If we lock it into the smart contract and the necessary licenses are in place and the regulatory issues are in place, there's nothing stopping the beauty of the blockchain and smart contracts to be able to enable that. Wow. So that's the ecosystem we're building, the Allrites media ecosystem.
Being in the content world and sharing content like we are today, that's so inspiring and it's so innovative that it's going to transform the way that we do things.
It is. I mean, our tagline is unlock the value of content. So Allrites is all about unlocking the value of content, and we believe with the model that we have in place and the fact that we already have an existing B2B marketplace, we're going to revolutionize the way people manage content, monetize content, and fund content in the future.
Because there is a lot of content out there that people are not getting like a return of investment on it, and this model actually supports people.
I'm a fan of Muay Thai, for example. There are millions of Muay Thai fans in the world, but there's no major broadcaster that's going to spend big bucks buying Muay Thai content. However, there are people wanting to watch it. So if some great producer creates wonderful fight content on Muay Thai, there are the fans in the world that he or she can reach through LiveStream. And there are the fans in the world that he or she can reach through RightFund to back the project. So I think the beauty of our model is it's good for the little guys, it's good for the big guys too, right? It works for somebody like Oprah, it can work for somebody like Ang Lee, producing great fight movies in China and great just movies in general. And it can be great for people like you and me if we have an idea we want to bring forth to the world.
So in media, content is king, and I think now we're decentralizing those content to the community that are looking for these solutions. So you provide the best solution right now for the community in terms of those producer, director, and also the individual organization. In terms of the blockchain platform, when is that coming again? When is the?
Okay, good question. So our B2B marketplace is already live. That was launched in July last year. So we have 18,000 hours of content now, 80% of which is Asian content because that's where we're based and we're growing, but it's a global platform. We have buyers in Eastern Europe, we have buyers in Asia, and we have content that is from Eastern Europe as well as we have content out here. But the idea of it is by Q4 of this year, we should have our global media registry up. So all our existing content on our marketplace today, which we should have about 50,000 hours by the end of this year, all of them will be given a birth certificate, an ARID, an Allrites media identifier that you are the one source of truth and owner of that piece of content.
Wow.
So that should start by Q4, and then we should be able to transition the whole marketplace to blockchain in the Q1 timeline. RightStream, we're looking, it's aggressive, but we think we can get RightStream up and running by July next year.
Okay.
And then RightFund, the third part of the ecosystem, by the end of next year.
So for our viewers over there, they're probably really enjoying this. How do they get started? Where do they find information?
Great. Now, if you guys like what we've shared so far, good. Come check out us at allrites.io, ALLRITES. Okay, our white paper is there. Please download it, read it, ask any questions. You can drop us an email. All the information's there. And I'm Karen at Allrites. So you can come and look for us, and happy to answer any questions.
Thanks so
and
much.
join. Oh, sorry. One more thing. Join our Telegram. It's at Allrites_ICO.
So in the future of content and RightStream and so on, what's going to be like in the next 2-3 years? I mean, it's going to attract a lot of those content community coming on board.
In fact, look out when you join our Telegram. We're going to have a competition out there soon, and that competition is going to be for all the creative talent out there that want to create a short format video about Allrites and this ecosystem that we're building. And whoever's the winner of that, what we plan to do is they will probably be showcased when we launch Right Fund, because they'll be one of the first projects that will be on Right Fund together with some celebrities from different parts of the world.
Go CBN Global.
Yay, CBN Global. Yay, Allrites.
All right, so thanks so much for sharing this amazing journey with us.
No worries.
Especially what your organization and sharing it into the communities of content providers. They are looking for this sort of solution to get started.
Yeah.
So you are based in Singapore, so when you're based in Melbourne, Australia as well?
Yeah, no, so we're based in Singapore, but our platform is global.
Yep.
It is for everybody. And once we have progress in terms of additional funding in place, we're actually going to be opening offices around the region.
Nice.
We have to, because you do have to be close to where the content is being created.
Yep.
And the reality is Bollywood is still there, Hollywood is still there, Korean dramas are still there. So we need to be close to where these hubs are.
Yep.
We are attending all of the major film festivals this year. So we've just finished MIP TV earlier this year in Cannes. We just completed Busan in Korea, in Seoul as well.
Yep.
Sorry, Busan is actually just outside.
Yep.
And we've done some great discussions in place. We've got about 50 memo deals out of the Cannes event and about another 20 out of Busan. We've just signed on 2 distributors in India, and we've got about 10,000 hours of Bollywood content coming online in the next month.
And I love Bollywood.
It's great. In fact, do you know what's great? My Uber driver coming in here today, he's from India originally, and he's from a dialect group called Yaman. And most of the content that you find on Netflix or anywhere else is usually Hindi. Nobody's showcasing his stuff. So we will have Malayalam language content on LiveStream, which he can then view $5 a month. He's able to then view it, and whether he watches English, Indian, Chinese, it doesn't matter. Whoever the original content producer is will get the revenue share back in.
So Netflix is competition, right?
Netflix is not a competition. They're actually complementary to our own ecosystem. So Netflix will buy content on the B2B marketplace, but the reality is Netflix can't buy content for 195 countries in the world. That's not their model.
Not there,
And what we're trying to do is address a gap in the ecosystem whereby content producers still want to reach their audience, but the major broadcasters or OTT players aren't showcasing it. And that's where things like sports, things like unique cultural, think of the Filipino diaspora around the world. There are over 10 million Filipinos around the world. Tagalog content has very low value outside of the Philippines, but with all of these Filipino around the world, we can reach them and show content that they love and want to watch, and they're living outside of the Philippines. We can make sure they get that.
Excellent.
All right, thanks so much for sharing your amazing journey with us. I think it is going to share, our viewers going to like this, and because in this world, 95% is content and video production. So even though it's live stream and all that, it's going to be playing a major part in coming and join your organization. So thanks so much for being on the show today.
No worries.
And
Thanks, guys.
hope to see you again next time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye.